Alright, welcome back everybody to another episode of Prehistoric Kingdom. Today we're making a Coelophysis exhibit. Let's just get into the build right away. So the idea behind this exhibit is going to be kind of that you have this central shelter for them that the guests can stand on top and get a good overview of the two halves that we're going to have for our Coelophysis. So I decided to split the exhibit into kind of two halves, just because I wanted to kind of emphasize their like quick little speedy nature. I remember in Jurassic Park, I believe these guys kind of ran around in packs, and they were kind of these quick little things that run through the forest. So we kind of will have a forest part and then a desert part, because they kind of again are on that boundary of kind of being a beachy, like I almost think like Northern California type exhibit. So in the middle here we'll kind of have like a runway for them almost, where the guests can view that behavior and see them like just take off through the middle there into the other section. And I think the end result turned out really cool. Now I'm just trying to make sure that the concrete colors match for our Dryosaurus and our Coelophysis exhibits. And I was toying with the idea of having kind of viewing areas on the corners that the guests could see them do the running through the middle, but then thinking about how I was gonna hold up the stairs, it just looked a little messy on the inside, so I decided in the end to kind of scrap the corner idea. So here you can see I'm putting in the supports for the stairs, and it just kind of looks, I didn't really like the gaps that it had in the corners, so we decided to get rid of that. And I think in the end it turned out really nice. So we're going for the feathered Coelophysis. I can't remember the exact name of it, but I like how fluffy they look, kind of like a weird chicken. So here I'm going to add a kind of viewing area to kind of watch that running between sides. So the guests can come on this side, go under the stairs, and they can see them running around inside the shelter. So here I'm fixing that kind of graphical error with the sizing up. So I just sized it just enough to cover that stair poking out. If you missed last episode, we built that exhibit area. You should definitely go check it out. Start laying out our walls for the exhibit. The idea is to kind of funnel guests up to the top, but then we're also going to have a viewing area at the end on this side, and then a viewing area on the opposite side. But then in the middle area, you're going to have to go up top to kind of enter the exhibit. Now this will be the side that will have fence on each side for those viewing areas. I found a different fence that I liked using. I like this fence a lot more. It kind of lets you see down into the exhibit a little better than these higher walled ones. Because you'll see now we're going to lower these each side, so they kind of like run up into the middle and then down into the other side. And this will also help them from climbing up the rocks if they can do that in the game. I haven't seen it happen yet. But I feel like Coelophysis seem kind of tricky, so if anyone could climb up the rocks, it would probably be them. So I wanted to make sure that they didn't escape at all and have another Jurassic Park incident. Now we're just going to raise that up where it kind of detached itself from our shelter. Flatten out the main running area. Now we're gonna start hatching our little Coelophysis. I'm just kind of carving kind of like a worn down little dip into the middle, like they've been running through there quite a bit.
Coelophysis is without a doubt the most iconic dinosaur of the Triassic period. It was named all the way back in 1889, making the genus well over 100 years old. That's nothing compared to the actual age of the animal, of course. The most recent specimens of Coelophysis are roughly 200 million years old.
There's your fun Coelophysis fact for the day. So this side will be the desert side. Sometimes with the paintbrush tool, you have to deselect the trees you don't want to be laying down, so I don't want any trees on that side. But I like this kind of redwood side, like I said earlier. kind of a California mix of beachy desert and then like nice tall forest. So this exhibit is kind of supposed to mimic that kind of like cliffside transition from like beach to forest. Now we're just gonna paint in some of the textures, add the little kind of running path in there. We're gonna add this, I think it's called the substrate. It's kind of like a wood chippy kind of thing, which I could easily see in an exhibit like this, kind of using for bedding, stuff like that. So I think it worked really well with the way the path looks in there. It looks like it's been used. And it really makes the exhibit feel lived in. Add our dung beetles to help clean up the exhibit. And this is just an enrichment item and some food. And now, so the idea of having the food on one side and the water on the other is just to encourage them to run through that middle part and out the other side. Now we're going to be adding some custom railings to this. And the scale tool makes it really easy to kind of do that. So I was able to flatten this wall piece in to look like the top of a handrail, and then use these black bars, squish them down and kind of make the same like railing effect. And I was able to duplicate that to the other corners of the exhibit. Now we're just finishing up, moving the railing to the other side, and that's the completed exhibit. So now I'll show you from the entrance. I think it looks awesome with that waterfall on the other side. You can kind of look down into the exhibit from there. You have the option to go up the stairs, and then you can see the desert side of the exhibit over here. And thank you so much. Like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.